Good afternoon, class. I am Teacher Rhea, your science teacher for today. And our topic for today is all about plants and their habitats. Before we start, are you familiar with these different plants that you can see in the picture? Okay, very good. Thank you for your answer. Where do you usually see those plants? Where do they live? Before we answer that question, I'm going to tell you about the different kinds of plants and their habitats.
Good holy everyone. I am teacher Sheena, your teacher in science. So for today's lesson, we will be going to tackle about habitat. So what is habitat? Habitat is a place where an organism makes its home. A habitat meets all the environmental conditions an organism needs to survive. For an animal, that means everything is need to find and gather food, select a mate, and successfully reproduce. So, the main components of habitat are shelter, water, food, and space. So, what are the examples of habitats? Habitats example includes lakes, streams, forests, desert, grasslands, or even a drop of water. All habitats on Earth is always changing. Habitats are constantly changing. Global habitats that have similar climates and plants are called biomes. The two main types of habitat are terrestrial habitat or land habitat, and the other one is aquatic or water habitat. So the forest, the grasslands, and mountains are just a few examples of terrestrial habitats. So in the aquatic or water habitat, there are three main kind of it, which is the freshwater habitat, the marine habitat, and the coastal habitat. So first, what is the freshwater habitat? Freshwater habitat where we can find the rivers, lake, ponds, and streams. So the marine habitat is ocean and seas form the largest habitat on the planet. So the coastal habitat is refers to the region where the land and seas meets.
A while ago, teacher Sheena told us about different habitats and also about what is habitats. Now class, let us know the plant's habitat. There are two types of plants habitat, which is the land habitat and the aquatic habitat. Terrestrial habitat is a plant home which found on land, and the plant that grow on land is called terrestrial plants. And there are types of terrestrial habitats, which is the desert and the grassland and also the forest. Okay class, who among you have been on the forest? Okay, thank you. Did you know that the forest is a natural home of many small plants and big trees? A forest also is a plant habitat that is dominated by trees, but it is also home to diverse collection of plant life. Okay, another types of plant habitat is the desert. Okay class, who among you have been there in the desert? Okay, no one because it is far away from us. Okay, desert, it is a place that receives extremely small amount of rainfall. It is also a very hot place during the daytime and also very cold during the night. That's why only few plants can survive in the desert. desert. The example of plants that can survive in the desert is the cactus plant. Who among you class have a cactus? Okay, very good. We need always to plant different kind of plants. Okay, another example of plants that can survive in the desert is the dates. Have you ever seen a dates plant, class? Okay, it is like a palm tree and it has a fruit. Another types of terrestrial habitat is the grassland. Grassland is a place where dominated plant life is made up of grasses and small trees. Also, grassland has all types of grasses, scattered shrubs, and small trees. The climate in grassland is dry. The place receives a little rainfall, but not like the desert. Okay, class. Another kinds of habitat is the aquatic habitats or the water habitats. Aquatic habitat, it is a plant home which is under the water. Aquatic habitat has two kinds. It is the freshwater habitats and the saltwater habitat. Freshwater is a kind of aquatic habitat. Example of freshwater are rivers, swamps, and lake. Okay, who among you class have been in lake? Okay, very good. Thank you. When we say lake, it is a large body of water that surrounded by land. Okay, the plants that we can see in the lake are the water lily. Yes, very good. Water lily, it can seen in the lake. Also, water hyacinth. All of those plants can float in the water. They use their inflated leaves and special hair or stems so that they can float on the surface of the water. Okay, class, another example of aquatic habitat is the salt water. Salt water includes the sea and the ocean. The sea, it is smaller than the ocean, and the ocean, it is a large body of salt water that can support the marine life. Okay, in salt water, only few plants can survive in the water. Plants that can tolerate salt water in their bodies. Plants that live in the salt water are the rooted plants and marine algae. Okay, class, who among you have been trying to swim on the sea? Okay, thank you, very good. The example of plants that we can see in the ocean or in the sea or plants that can survive in salt water is, example of that is the seagrass and also the seaweeds and the mangrove. All those plants will serve as the feeding and breeding place of the animals that we can see in the particular area. Class, now that we already know about different plants and their habitats, we'll be going to have an activity. But before we start our activity, I want you to answer this following. I want you to classify plants according to their habitats. I will going to show you a different picture and you are going to classify it according to their habitats. I will give you 5 minutes to classify those plants. Okay, thank you. Very good, class. Okay, class. Now we'll be having our activity. Okay, I want you to form a group and each group have 5 members. Okay, choose your group member. Okay, class, if you already have your group members, you are going to go to the school garden and look for the different plants that you can see in the garden. And you will going to take a picture those plants and choose one plant and take a picture, and you will be going to describe that plant and identify its habitats. Is that clear, class? Okay, very good. And if you don't know the name of the plants, you can ask me. After that you choose the plants, you will be going to present it in our class. Okay, is that clear? Okay, I will give you a 15 minutes to go to the garden. Okay? Okay, class, time is up. Let me see your work. Okay, very good. Job well done. Give a round of applause. Okay, class, thank you for your cooperation. I hope you understand and enjoy our class for today. Thank you, everyone. Goodbye and God bless.